Hello Year 4, I hope you had a fantastic weekend and welcome to February. We are in our final lesson today of area and I know it has gone so fast, but I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Today in our final lesson all about area, we will be comparing area using the greater than, less than or equal to sign. And that is what you will need to use when you are comparing these cubes and these numbers in your daily fluency questions today. So spend around about 4 minutes on these questions, please. Pause the video where you are and write your answers down on a piece of paper so I can mark them easily when it comes to sending your work in. Off you go. Okay, question number 1. 372 divided by 3 gives us the answer of 124. 420 multiplied by 5 gives us 2,100. What is the value of 5 in this number? Well, we can see that if the 2 represents our 1s, the 5 represents our 10s, which represents 5 tens, which is the same as 50. Number 4, we can see that A has 6 cubes and B has 7 cubes. Oh, not B, sorry, the red cubes are 7. So green cubes are less than the red cubes. We can see in B there are 3 cubes each side, so they remain equal. And for C, 7 is larger than 6. And finally, draw a shape with the area of 6 squares. You may have had multiple drawings, but this is one example where you have a rectangle of 6 squares, or you could have a rectilinear shape using 6 squares too. Well done if you got all those right. Let's have a look at today's learning, all about comparing area. So first of all, I want to know the area of this shape. Can you pause the video and work out the area, please? Okay, you might have worked out the area was 7 squares. Now, this time, I would like you to work out the area of this shape. Pause the video and do the same, please. And you will have found the area of this shape is 6 squares. Now, I want to find out which shape has the largest area, and I want to use my greater than, less than, or equal to signs to help me do this. Now I can see that 7 squares, my shape on the right, has a larger area than my shape on the left has a larger area than my shape on the right, because 7 is bigger than 6. So that means 7 has the larger area. Okay. Can you have a go at question number 1 on the worksheet, please, using your greater than, less than, or equal to signs that you are so amazing at? Off you go. Pause the video. Okay, so let's have a look at some more then. So, which shape has the smaller area? Pause the video and have a think, please. Okay, well, we could count the squares in each of our shapes, and if we did that, we would work out that the first shape on the left had an area of 24 squares. Or we could figure out that there are 6 columns of 4. So we could work out 6 multiplied by 4 also gives us this same area of 24. We could then use this to do the same with the second shape, because I can see that we have got 5 columns of 5. And 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. Now if we go back to the original question, which shape has the smaller area, we can see that this shape has a smaller area. It has an area of 24, whereas this shape has an area of 25. So which symbol am I going to use? Am I going to use greater than, less than, or equal to represent these shapes? Fantastic. I am going to represent this side as being greater than, this side being less than this shape. Fantastic. Okay, can you pause the video and have a think about this one? Which shape has the greater area? When you've done that, write down the symbol that is going to go in the circle to represent how you're going to compare these two shapes. Pause the video and have a think, please. Okay, so you may have already worked out the area. Absolutely fantastic job if you have. But here's an easier way of doing this if you haven't thought of this way already. My shape on the left, if I remove that square that I've just removed, we can now see that we have a rectangle, which is really, really easy to calculate the area of a shape using my multiples. Now, how many columns do I have? I have 5 columns, and how many rows do I have? I have 3 rows. So I know that I have an area of 15, but I need to add that shape on, so I'm adding on 1 to my 15, giving me an area of 16. Similarly, even though the second shape on the right has got 2 squares missing, we can pretend that they are there for now, so that it makes a rectangle. We can then use our multiples to work out that if we have got 5 columns, and we have got 4 rows, and 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. But then what do we need to do? Because we have added these 2 in and they're not actually there. What do we need to do with them? That's right, we need to take 2 away. So 20 take away 2 gives us the area of 18. Now we have worked out our area really efficiently by taking some squares away and adding them in to make sure we've got a regular shape that we can easily find out multiples with. Which shape has the greater area? That's right, the shape on the right has a greater area. So this shape is less than this shape. Great work. Can you now have a go at questions 2, 3 and 4 on the worksheet, please? Pause the video and off you go. Okay, so we have got 3 shapes on a grid here. We have got a shape which is highlighted in green squares. We have got a shape which is highlighted in orange squares. And we have got a shape which is highlighted in blue squares. We want to order the shapes from largest to smallest. Now Tiny has came along and he's seen this too, and he says, I think B has the largest area because it's a really long shape. Now, do you think Tiny is correct? Can you pause the video and have a go ordering the shapes from largest to smallest according on what their area is? Pause the video and have a go, please. Okay, so you may have worked out that because A is a regular shape, we can see that it has 2 columns of 4 and it has an area of 8 squares because 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. Similarly, with B, it has 1 long column of 7 squares. So B is 7 multiplied by 1, giving us 7 squares. With C, we could use what we learnt on the last slide, where we could actually move one of the squares and make a rectangle out of it, and ignore the 1 square for now. So if we looked at C as a rectangle at the moment, because we've moved the square to have a better, easier way of multiplying it, we can see that we have got 4 multiplied by 2, giving us 8. Then we need to add the 1, giving us 9 squares. So what was the order then? Which one's the largest shape? That's right, C is the largest, followed by B, followed by A, followed by B. Fantastic work, well done. Now, shape A has been halved. So we need to imagine that shape A has been cut in half. Now, where would half be? Have a think. Yes, it could be down here, or it could be down here. When we halve numbers, what do we need to make sure both sides are when we halve numbers or shapes? That's right, we need to make sure they're equal, symmetrical. So we need to halve the shape so that it's the same both sides. Lovely. Now, shape A has been halved and 1 extra square has been added to shape C. Shape B has remained the same, it has not been touched. And our new question is, what is the difference between the smallest and the largest area now? So your job is to halve shape A, work out what the new area of that shape is, add 1 square extra onto shape C, work out the new area of that shape, then work out the difference between the largest and smallest area. Now, how can we work out the difference of shapes? Do you remember? That's right, we need to find the difference between them by taking away the largest from the smallest to find out the bits in between. So when you do find out the new area of shape A and your shape C, You need to figure out which one's the largest shape and which one's the smallest shape, and then find the difference between them. Take the smallest number from the largest number, okay? So pause the video and can you have a go at that now, please, and write your answers down. Off you go. Okay, so if we halve shape A, we can halve it horizontally or vertically. But we can see that if we halve it, our new area is 4, because 8 divided by 2, our original area of 8, divide that by 2 gives us a new area of 4. Now B was untouched. We didn't touch that. It remains the same, of an area of 7. Whereas C had 1 extra square added to it. So you can add the square there, and we know that we were working out 8 add 2, because we can see that we've got our rectangle here, which is 8. Add these two here, giving us an area of 10. So our largest area is C, which is 10 squares, and our smallest area is A, which is 4 squares. To find the difference, we need to take away 10 from 4. 4 from 10. What is 10 subtract 4? Can you pause the video and work that out now, please? Did you get it right? That 10 take away 4 is 6 squares. So the difference between the smallest and the largest area now is 6 squares. Okay, can you have a go at the rest of the worksheet and then pause the video and come back to the video when you've done that, please? Okay, so your final task for today. The problem solving is a bit different to the usual ones because I want you to look at the following shapes. Can you spot the pattern from this shape to this shape to this shape? What is changing and how is the area changing? So you'll need to work out the area of each of the shapes and then notice what's changing in the sequence of numbers of area that you find out. Using this pattern, can you draw the next shape and find out the area? So the 4th shape and the area of that shape. Then, can you predict with the pattern that you've worked out so far what the area of the 6th shape would be? And then write any patterns down that you could find out, okay? Same again applies that if you are printing, then you can write your answer in this space of the sheet. But if you aren't printing, can you just make it explicit and just write a little subheading saying problem solving question and then write down your answers just so I can really see your understanding, okay? So those are your tasks for today. And it is our final area lesson. So tomorrow I will be doing the same like I did with multiplication and division. We will have a quick recap of area. It was a super speedy topic, wasn't it, year 4? I hope you've enjoyed it though, and we will have a quick recap in tomorrow's lesson, and then I will give you a mini quiz like I did for our multiplication and division unit. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, year 4.